Boom! What's up, everyone? Welcome to Simulation. I'm your host, Alan Sakyan. Very excited to be talking about art and emotional expression. We have Athena Kim joining us on the show. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on, Athena.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Really excited for this. You reminded me that it's been a long time since we've actually known each other. When I first came to the Bay Area about 7 years ago.
That's true.
Yeah. That's a long time for a Bay Area, friend. Yeah, because so many people are just meeting so recently, and so it's cool that we've known each other a while. You've grown a lot as a human. I have too. For those that don't know Athena's background, Athena Kim is a painter living in the Bay Area whose abstract expressionism embodies complex personal feelings and body sensations. Each of her works is a profound personal journey into the depths of the subconscious and past personal experiences. As a result, they culminate in unique compositions of richly colored abstract images which fill large canvases with gestures, lines, shapes, and colors that evoke feelings of transcendence and tranquility. So beautiful. And you can find the links in the bio below, athenakimart.com, as well as her Instagram and Facebook. Athena, let's start things off by understanding who you are and your journey. So you're born in Seoul in South Korea, and who were you growing up? How did you get interested in art?
I don't exactly remember how I got interested in art, but what I do remember as a kid, I was always drawing. And I was always like a visually very interested and responsive. And drawing, painting was one of my favorite things to do. The hours could pass by easily. Yeah.
What were you drawing, painting when you were young?
I think mostly the sceneries, landscapes, and also sky, stars.
And what was it like growing up in South Korea?
Personally, it was a very dark, heavy. I was a gifted child. So at a very early age, I started getting a lot of expectations from parents and school teachers. And there was a huge emphasis on doing well in the school exams and getting into a top college. That was the only way that you could make it from working class to, I don't know, like a middle class or with other opportunities and possibilities.
And so those expectations were heavy.
Yeah, I'm the eldest of three, and both of my parents came from a very humble family. So literally they had nothing and had to build something. And they believed in the power of education, so they wished me to have a different life, which is a better life. So they made a huge sacrifice, putting us into private education with the huge loans, and they were living extremely frugally, and and then they were very worried about what other people think about how they did with their life, which is also very common culture in Korea. I think especially eldest and also gifted child, there is extra expectations on me that I should do well, and then they wanted to live their dream through me almost. Yeah.
And then did you continue also having your emotional expression through art throughout your teenage years and through your 20s?
Unfortunately, no. I think I had that creative outlet when I was in a private elementary school with the extracurricular events, the classes, but not once I got into junior high school. It was all about getting perfect grades in school tests and no other extracurricular activities. So my father cut me off of the private piano lessons I was getting when I was in elementary school, which I was most passionate about. So
Wow. Yeah, we have a lot to change about our world to make it easier for kids to pursue what they actually find most interesting and not be just squelched by the economic and political and parental machinery saying you have to do this.
yeah, I totally with you on that. But in Korea, it's like a people mindset mentality. The kids who are not smart or not academically accomplished, but coming from a lot of money, they get art lessons and go to art schools. So it's not really like a cool thing to do. Especially our family didn't have a lot of funds. So I remember my mother telling me like, I wish that I could support you if you wanted to go to art school instead, but unfortunately we can't. But fortunately, you are very smart. You're doing so well in school. So why don't you go to a top college and then make art as a hobby? It'd be cool to be a doctor or professor, and painting on the side. That would be better for you. That's what my mother told me. But if I had a choice to do what I wanted to do, then I would totally go for art. Doing other school work was to partially make my parents proud and happy, upon their sacrifices, and also I understood like the importance of getting education. It was such a like a strong emphasis like since I was very little. So yeah.
And then how did you end up then transitioning from South Korea to the Bay Area? Yeah.
I think it's around in my mid-30s, I started traveling to San Francisco. I think I was working as a freelance Korean English translator, interpreter. So I had a flexibility with some savings. And then that's when I got into like a personal healing journey by seeing psychologists and doing meditation and making a lot of self-reflections, which I didn't think that I had the luxury to do for a few decades of my life. And then coming to San Francisco was kind of taking a break from a very somewhat stressful and overwhelmingly like heavy personal work I was doing in Korea.
Okay, so then there was a process of wanting to heal and having psychiatry as well as meditations, these types of processes for you in terms of healing. And would you say that then art was then another modality for you for healing, another way to heal?
I didn't have a full understanding of the healing power of art. It was just, I had a really difficult time to acknowledge and navigate my feelings and emotions during therapy with a psychologist. So every time I go to see her at her office, she asks me a question, how are you feeling? Then I'll just get stuck in not knowing how to answer the question, not knowing what my feelings are.
Yeah.
And one day, she knew that how frustrated I was, and then handed me a sketchbook with the crayons and asked me to just draw.
Wow.
and I did, and it was kind of like a random drawing, and I started painting with the colors, and then there's kind of relief and kind of joy, like opening in my body that seemed to like relieve the frustration or the discomfort that I was experiencing. So after that, I started drawing on my own.
Wow, that's an interesting healing practice that even like a psychologist, if they can identify that if they can use a sketch pad with some crayons to express how they're feeling, that can be a really good way to get people to actually express themselves. Yeah. And so then did you when you were expressing yourself, then that was kind of the moment for you of like, maybe I should do this more.
No, it didn't occur to me that way.
Okay.
I was just doing more and more because there was a benefit that I was getting.
Okay.
There's a kind of sense of relief, like even liberation, and it interests me what comes on the canvas, because it's a blank canvas and a sketchbook, and I didn't have any intention or purpose of what I was going to draw or paint.
Yeah.
So I just stay with it and then just let my fingers or wherever it leads and just kind of go with it. And something very interesting like keep coming that made me curious. And also helped me navigate the feelings that I couldn't figure out for myself. And it gives me a sort of like a data, something like tangible to look at.
Yes.
And then ponder around.
You said relief and liberation, and then it gives you something tangible to look at and ponder afterward. And then you started that practice more and more when you were in the Bay?
Oh, when I was in the Bay, while I was just traveling back and forth?
Yeah, and when did you pick up starting to do this more and more?
I think that was around late summer 2016. That was after I had really huge panic attacks with anxiety and triggers of a past trauma when I was in a relationship, and there's a lot of like abuse that I suffer from. And I don't know how it happened. Like one day I picked up paints and then started painting on canvas. And I haven't stopped since then.
3 years of continuing to paint on canvas. Yeah. The relief and liberation, something to look at and ponder. Yeah. And even then people really love this work, your art. They're purchasing it for their offices, for their homes, because they really enjoy the work. And so there's kind of like both. You get the benefit of the relief and liberation. Other people get to see something beautiful in their homes, offices.
Yeah, I didn't paint to sell. It was meant for sale. And then one day, a friend that came visit with her friends, and then her friend wanted to buy a painting. And which was a big surprise. At the time, I was not really up for selling it because I felt like the painting was a piece of me, and then it's like letting the part of me let go. But at the time, I need the money. And I figure I just don't need to let go. But later, there's the gratitude and the joy and sense of fulfillment. It came to me that it's a better off to go, away from me and then be appreciated.
Yes. Yeah. Appreciated by more people. Yeah. Yeah. And so then this expression of emotions through art. Let's start also showing some of the first collections, the Interoception Collection. So this art here is, how is this art made? How does this work? How do you do this?
Oh, how did I create it?
And what is Interoception? What is this collection? How did you create it? It's all this stuff, yeah.
Well, when I paint, I don't even know like what's gonna come out. I sit on a blank canvas and meditate first, and then get myself grounded, and just keep an open mind with curiosity, and then just let my subconsciousness and then my hand just lead me. I was going through a lot when I created the beginning of an Interoception series, Usually I title the series after the paintings are completed. I was staying at a friend's couch for several months in San Francisco, and I think I stretched the canvas with the help from an artist friend, so it was free. Supplies were offered, and I found this a very inexpensive paint in the art supply store, and I was seeing a therapist once a week, and just started going to a meditation group. My life was like limbo with the total uncertainty, not knowing where to go next, and I don't even know like if I could survive. Yeah, it was a lot. But at least it's something that I could do. There are so many things that are out of my control.
Yes.
But I think I was trying to like focus on things that I can do within my control. For me, having a canvas just set like a space that gave me a sense of the security, the safety that I could create within this space as I wanted. But not having tried to like execute something, try to make something, taking off the pressure of me, and then whatever that comes, and just gotta let them come out and express it.
To have a space like a canvas to be able to design exactly what you want versus the outside world, it's so out of control.
Right, even that I didn't have my own like a physical space. I was living off my suitcase on someone's couch, and I move around quite a lot, and not knowing where to go next and how long I could stay. But at least when it comes to the painting, I have this canvas, and just do with it.
Yeah.
And that was really difficult to even explore and navigate, understand what I was going through.
And how does, from everything that you're feeling to the way that you're using materials, you said you kind of meditate and then you let your even subconscious just take you. Interesting. So what would that look like? So is this oil?
No.
What is it? Yeah.
These are mixed mediums. I had some like charcoals and pencils and oil pastels and acrylic paint.
Okay, acrylic,
oil
pastels, charcoal, and
crayons and pencils.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Yeah, okay. So then you get a little bit of all of those involved, and
yeah, whatever feels right to me in that moment, I go with it. My works are not premeditated.
Yeah.
It's
and they have like a layer of texture on them because like some of they're like raised up a little bit, right? What do you call that when there's that layer of like that added layer of texture?
I call it layers
of
painting. So when I feel something or try to like navigate, explore what's going on inside my body, there are a lot of physical sensations that come and go. I find body scanning from mindfulness meditation very helpful. It helps me better present and sensitive and mindful of the sensation I'm going through, and then also help me naming emotions that rise with the physical sensations, which I was not able to do. Used to feel like it's just too overwhelming, like too like powerful. Something is like hijacking me. It's just like just so much like energy that I am completely taken by, which made me feel helpless. But when I do the painting works, it helps me feel grounded because it's like invite all of them and embrace them and let them all come out on canvas. There are so many of it, and I don't really know what they are, but there's so much of it. But to me, it comes as a colors, textures, and movement when I navigate physical sensations, emotions, and feelings. And sometimes the memories from the past, and also like being present. And my understanding is like body carries a lot of memories from the past.
Body holds the score.
Yeah. And then I want to like relieve all this stuff like I've taken my space. I want to like to create some open space so I could be better present.
Whoa, so different feelings when you do the meditation body scan, different feelings will trigger different movements and different colors and different textures. Mm-hmm. And do you have can you give us an example of like a feeling and a color that you would use with that feeling?
Can I associate the colors with like emotions?
Yeah.
Well, I would say like a blue is like calming and grounded impact on me, but at times it could be very deep. And if it gets, for example, if I work on like a blue painting series for like hundreds of hours for a long period of time, then I get like really like taken down as if I'm like sinking like under like a deep ocean. And then when I like start working on like a yellow, like an orange and a green, the more vibrant colors that I find more uplifting, that brings me like more life and like a vibrancy. Honestly, I don't really think about it like logically. Okay, so red is like a passion, or it's like or tragic, so I'm going to use a red.
But are there patterns that you see though, like in the choices that you make? Like a certain feeling triggers a certain texture or a body stroke.
So movement. when I work on the paintings, I don't really think. Like everything like happens so like quickly. Then I'm really like immersed in painting. So I don't really like think or analyze.
Yeah,
things.
Correct, because that takes you out of flow. Yeah.
Right. So I'm like in the flow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what's the difference between the Interoception Collection and like the next collection, which is this Blue Space Nebula collection? What's the differences between the collections?
Well, Blue Space Nebula collection was born because of the art commission. It was the first art commission that I received from a couple whom I met at mindfulness-based stress reduction workshop. So they loved all of my works once they saw my online gallery images, and they both agreed that blue is their favorite color, and wanted me to create something that's tranquil and serene. And they actually totally left it up to me, and I had no idea other than I'm going to use blue as like a primary color, which is my most favorite. Not knowing what comes.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, I've always been attracted to blue since I was very little, and I love the ocean blue, sky, and the deep blue of the universe.
Yes. And continue on the story with the collection.
So like not knowing like what to create. So just the way I painted it before, I just started started with it. And then as the painting like continued to proceed, so Lisa, she's one of the collectors who commissioned a piece, came by and told me that she is seeing a nebula on the painting. And I never heard that word before. So she Google searched it and then showed the image of a nebula.
Yeah.
Then I could see like similarities. So, but I was not painting to create nebula.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it continues to evolve, and there are like a bunch of neighbors like stopping by while I was painting in their garage. And then that's what most of the people were seeing, universe or constellation.
Constellation, nebulas, yeah. So that's interesting. So you weren't thinking cosmology, but people came and saw nebulas and constellations and the universe.
Right.
That's great.
But it all like came from within myself. It's like setting like a total like a self face, you know. So whatever it comes is a welcome, and just believe in yourself and just go with it with intuition.
Maybe there was something as large as nebulas and constellations channeling through you.
I actually like a few of the collectors and mentioned it to me, and I always feel very surreal when I see my works. It's like I cannot believe that I am doing this. Like, did I do this really?
Yeah,
But I did it, and I don't know like how, but it keeps like coming at me. I love the expressions. There's someone saying, "You are the universe. We're the universe."
Yes.
Like in a part of like a huge like universe.
Yes. Observing and experiencing. We are the universe, observing, experiencing itself. Yeah. Yeah.
And I believe if I really surrender myself and like to all the possibilities and infinity coming from the mother of nature and the universe, and then it will just work through me. And then things are going to be just
I love that. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So, and then I got very inspired by the first piece I was creating. And so both collectors, they couldn't be happier. And then I wanted to take advantage of having the space to create a large work. So I told them that I'd like to create one more and then let them decide which piece that they wanted to pick. And because I didn't have a studio at the time, I was painting on the living room floor next to the couch and the dining table.
But these were like 6-foot pieces.
Oh, this is 5 by 7 feet.
5 by 7 feet.
Right.
How do you fit that on a living room floor?
Oh, so I couldn't do it there, so that's why I painted in my collector's garage.
In your collector's garage.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there were these people that would help give you the right space that you needed in order to have the creative expression come through you, because you needed the space. We need the help sometimes from people that believe in us.
Of course.
Yeah.
They had higher belief in my talent and me as a person more than I did for myself at the time. It was November 2017, and it was like, I cannot believe that you guys have like such a like high belief in me, because it was a 5-figure commission work, which is
excellent.
Which is not a small amount of money.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like easy for even like people with money to do that.
Yeah.
So they believe in me, and then they opened their house to me for me to work, and that's how the series were able to be born.
That's beautiful. And like the amount of 5 feet by 7 feet, would you say a majority of the things that you're painting are that size?
I created 2 5 by 7 feet canvas paintings and 10 5 by 6 feet canvas paintings.
10 5 by 6 feet.
Right.
Wow.
No, 5 by Yeah, 10
10
paintings
5
of
by
5 by
6.
6.
Yeah. Wow, that's huge. Yeah. Whoa.
I gained a huge self-confidence after I completed a successful first art commission on 5 by 7 feet canvas. And I created the second piece, and then which was sold last year by worldly renowned venture capitalists in Silicon Valley, which is also amazing. And so with the money that I received from the first art commission, I set my intention for the first time and decide to invest into buying art supplies, including 10 5 by 6 feet canvas.
I love it.
And ordered 25 boxes of paint.
Wow.
And had no clue where to paint and what to do with those paintings.
25 boxes of paint.
Right. And then miraculously, I was able to find a space to move into temporarily.
Yeah.
And live and work.
Yes.
That was in Berkeley.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
See, this is you took a big risk. You doubled down on what you love, and more doors kept opening up.
Yeah, so probably not the most practical decision to have. I think the enormous the pressure of not having a lot of things out of my control, uncertainty, I feel like I want to do something totally opposite. Because I fear that otherwise it's gonna take over me.
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
I don't like feeling defeated.
Yeah.
So it was a very bold decision. Of course, there's a lot of fear. What if I can't sell them? What am I gonna do with all this gigantic painting? I can't keep them, and I don't have my own space, and my life is still in limbo. But I did, and then it paid off.
Yeah. This is a great story of believing in oneself and taking the next steps towards what you find most meaningful in your life and pursuing that, even though there can be some fear or some anxiety about what could happen. It's better to go through to what you love than to turn around and say, I don't think I can do that. Mm-hmm. It's a reoccurring theme of the people we sit down with. Now, I loved this, the Vulnerability Collection. When did you start the Vulnerability Collection?
That was in September last year, 2018. I was in this early relationship. I was totally in love with this man, but he was not into me. And I was fearful of getting my heart broken, but I couldn't stop loving him, and it's like my heart was rushing out, and I had just a fear of rejection that comes as a few small episodes, panic attacks and anxiety, which made my body feel very disorienting. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to work through them somehow, and I chose painting as my creative outlet, and kind of process them. So the first vulnerability piece, actually it was supposed to be the first layer of blue space of painting. And I just left it because it takes time for the paints to dry. And I post each painting that I create onto my social media accounts, and there is immediate response, positive feedbacks from the viewers on Instagram and Facebook. So I figured, okay, I'm just gonna leave it as it is and see like what happens.
Yeah.
And then I received a Facebook Messenger with a Facebook friend request from Elliot in London, who was interested in buying this piece with Blue Space Nebula number 5.
Wow.
Which I thought that was a kind of joke, because as a person I'd never met, we
Yeah.
don't have any mutual contacts.
Yeah. Wow. Around the world, what we can see now is the interconnected world can do things like someone can follow your account, see this post, have no mutual friends with you, but is looking for artists that are kind of, unique.
He wasn't even looking. He's never bought
even
paintings ever before.
And just this one just got him, and he got interested in what.
Actually, it was my Facebook profile photo, me
Yeah.
standing next to Blue Space number 1. That picture got his attention.
Okay.
And then he started clicking my account and saw this image. That was the latest work that I posted at the time.
Okay. And then you sent this one to Elliot then?
He actually came visit me in Berkeley.
He came and visited you
yeah,
in Berkeley?
he showed up
Wow.
and met me and saw my paintings and purchased 2 large paintings.
Wow.
And then commissioned a small piece as a tribute to his father, who passed away as a Holocaust survivor from Poland.
Athena, this is so cool. This is all happening in the last year for you.
Yes. At least I
Look at
got
you.
something
You're
there.
so happy right now.
At least I got something out of this, relationship that didn't work out. I was devastated. Oh my God, this is happening again.
Why is it happening? Well, look
Yeah.
at why it happened potentially. Yeah.
But at least I got something really positive, which made like a huge positive impact and momentum for my artist career.
Maybe this is exactly what was meant to happen from the relationship that didn't work out. It's potential. It's possible. Yeah.
So then should I keep dating people like turning into like art?
Oh, turning it into art, yeah. You are a channel, Athena.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how what our relationship, our failed, doomed relationship, would bring to fruition in the art world. I joke. I didn't even want to touch this because it's such a touchy subject. I just was better off being quiet. But pain, can create wonderful art.
Yeah. There's eventually at some point I can see more young people around the world being able to express themselves through art in more mediums. Right now we have the benefit of something like Instagram, like you were saying, or Facebook, also YouTube through video distribution, right? All these types of mediums that help us artistically distribute content. I think there's more and more billions of more people that are going to be coming onto the platforms.
Right.
It's going to be crazy to see what cool art, comes up.
I think the digital social media platforms has given me this opportunities to showcase and sell and work, not only locally and internationally.
Yeah.
I don't
Huge.
have a art gallery representation. I'm still looking for the right fit. So I've been doing everything from scratch, from creating artworks, logistics, and sales and promotion and marketing, and social media contents management.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a lot of work. You're wearing all the hats. And so you're looking to potentially put some of the works into galleries.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I think that would help me just focusing on creating artworks,
Yes.
not having to worry about all this like business matters.
Business stuff.
Yeah, which takes
or
up
get
a
an
lot.
agent to help you with that side, the business development side. Yeah. So Athena is looking for galleries, for potentially someone to help with business.
Yes,
on the business
and
side.
then dealers.
Dealers.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Okay, cool. And then the contact is right on the website, right, for the contact form. So for those that want, again, that's athenakimart.com. If those that are interested, please reach out to Athena. We would love to see more of this, and so you can focus on keep this channel going, keep this channel open. So, okay, and then the more on the vulnerability collection, it seems as though here your the feeling in being expressed through the body motion is like pretty evident. It's pretty visible.
Yes.
Yes.
So the canvas is larger than my body.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
under 3 feet, and this is a 5 by 6 feet. I was just, throwing like the paints, walking around, and sometimes like running. And I love this like a physical like a movements allow me to, move and make this. Amy Cuddy talking about the body language and how it impacts our psychology.
Yes.
I think I tend to feel very small and like this, and then that impacts my psyche and also like emotion. It makes me even more closed up and like even depressed or not feel so safe. But when I start moving my body, there's kind of flow and like a space and more like a power opening. I think that's what attracts me to work on a large canvas, because that kind of boosts all this physical like emotions, which gives me the larger sensation of like a liberation or relief.
Yeah. Similarly with just movement in general, for those that are constantly behind computers all day, to just get up, move, stretch the body, do some yoga, go outside, get some sunlight without the phones, that can rejuvenate and inspire and give us so much energy. And so you're right that like if you're on a big canvas, it's bigger than your body, and you're using these large movement strokes, you're inevitably going to feel more alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so the vulnerability collection continues. Wow.
The small work is sold.
This one got sold?
Yeah.
Wow, congrats.
You just met Tom. Tom bought it.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so nice. Yeah, damn. So
when he saw this piece in person, he said yes right away.
Oh, that's so cool. Wow. So, and this is now becoming a reoccurring thing. Like people, even working at the major tech companies in the Bay Area, are like interested in purchasing and supporting the art, and yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, we need more. I'm always on the lookout for art collectors, exhibitors, and also corporate collaborations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I saw one of the images on you have so much. Everyone should follow Athena Kim Art on Instagram, because there's just so much good stuff on here. And I think I saw one of the images. Like these are some of the kind of like some of the large. Is this in the office space?
Oh, that's currently in my studio gallery.
This one's in the studio.
Right.
I saw some of the ones that looked like, because I love the brick background. It kind of looks like in the office space. Because that's another one of the things, is that it's coming into, which one?
This is the one at the venture capital.
Oh, cool.
And fabrications design studio space in Palo Alto.
Nice.
It's called Playground Global. That was the second large piece.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Playground Global. Congrats. It's so cool.
Thank you.
See, this is getting you're moving. You're moving fast. It's beautiful to see it, because it takes a long time. It's not overnight on the pursuit of art and the pursuit of what brings someone meaning in life. Sometimes we are so in the instant gratification world that we forget that it takes It took Michelangelo almost 4 years to make the statue of David.
Right.
Yeah.
I just, came after visiting Andy Warhol's exhibitions. He uses silk print, so his work is super easy and then much quicker, and then he could produce so much in a short period of time. I was like, my work takes so much time, and it's by hand and the huge physical labor. But there's a beauty in it. I think that's what keeps me gravitated. It's so difficult, working on canvas with a paint 10 hours a day, and I pass out.
10 hours?
Yeah, when I'm in the flow. Yeah, 10, 12 hours go, fast.
And then it's not even done? The single one?
Oh, because I have many layers.
And it's
of
layered.
Painting.
So you put the layer on one, and then you're going to the other one, and you're making a second or third layer on the one that is already dried from yesterday.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
And then it's just difficult to put the brushes and paint a palette knife down, and then go for a walk or take a break for coffee, because it has to be, the timing is so important. So right mixtures of color, and then create certain textures that I want, and then it has to be the right timing. I have to wait. If I miss it, then it will take tremendous amount of time and a paints to try to recreate it.
So one of the things is that then it's as though you have this is potentially a good example. Let's look at this one. So there's something it's almost as though that you when you add a color and you wait just a couple seconds and then you add another color, it mixes differently than if you waited an hour, if you went on a walk.
Right.
And then came back, it would make a different appearance.
Right.
Yeah. So then you get to pick which ones you want to do immediately, which ones you want to wait a couple minutes or maybe an hour or maybe even overnight to let it completely dry. Yeah.
So it's totally intuitive, spontaneous. At times, it's not accident.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not planning it. It's not premeditated, but I am looking for kind of serendipity while being in present, in the flow.
Yeah. Yep. Serendipity and in flow. Yep. Wow. There's so much complexity that goes into this, and I'm happy that we're even starting to, break down the complexity and also showcase more artists that are doing really well and that we believe in and that we love supporting. And
thank you. I love that.
You're so welcome. And you have such a unique edge to you too, because like you said that there's something beautiful about you said post-traumatic growth. I love that, because we all have some sort of trauma, varying levels of traumas and stresses throughout our lives as well as our ancestors' lives.
Right.
And so how can we grow from that? That's such an important thing. You are the embodiment of that.
I am working on it, in progress. I think I came to realize that I was suffering from PTSD for a few decades of my life, but with this fear that I didn't want anybody to know what was going on and what happened to me. I think it has a lot to do with the shame. I think it's a very common psychological a challenge that a survivor of a trauma experience. Even though it's not our fault, it happened to us, but we are so shut down and too afraid to acknowledge and have our voice to tell others, because we're so worried of being labeled or judged or criticized.
Yeah.
not having a sense of safety, which is the biggest struggle for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And so to have space that makes us feel safe to be vulnerable and to express ourselves at our deepest emotions is so critical. And to help provide that for other people by just being present with them and the way that they feel and just wanting to be there in a loving, caring, compassionate way, and also to be able to do things like express oneself through art, through mediums like art. Athena, do you think we covered everything well? Is there something else specific that you think we should mention about your art and about your journey? How do you feel? Feel good?
Thinking.
I'm thinking pretty good. I'm thinking we did a good job. So this is also important to mention that some of the canvases, although you use some 5x6 and some 5x7 foot canvases, you also you even gifted us a little. What was that, like 12 inch by 12 inch?
That was a 16 by 20.
16 by 20.
Yes.
Okay. So these are 16 by 20 or a little bit more even, maybe like.
Right, 18 by 22.
18 by 22.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I still make smaller works, small, medium, large, and extra large canvases.
Well. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And so you're doing both scales right now, big stuff and smaller stuff. You're doing both.
Right,
Yeah.
especially in San Francisco, like not everybody has huge white wall space.
Although we definitely at some point will need to get one of the beautiful ones in here, or even just lease it from you for a period of time to hang and inspire other people that come in, and we'll mention that of course it's Athena Kim's art. So
Thank
kind of
you.
Yeah.
I know like there's like a ton of money in Silicon Valley in San Francisco
So
Bay
much.
Area.
Yeah.
Like just even this year there's like new thousands, like millionaires.
There's new
paper.
millionaires all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
And
So pass on some of that wealth to artists.
I need all of this like successful tech entrepreneurs, investors to invest and support the artists.
That's right.
So art is so essential
Yes.
to our humanity, especially all this, like most like cutting edge tech in the Bay Area, especially. I feel like they have this accountability to support artists.
Yes. Yes. And you look back at Lorenzo de' Medici patroning Da Vinci and Michelangelo, right?
Right.
This is a long time that this has been happening. We need more of these new tech millionaires to step up and say, I'm going to give Athena Kim, because I love her art, I'm going to give her $1,000 a month. They're going to give Simulation $1,000 a month because they love what we do. They're going to give Charity Everett $1,000 a month because they love what she does.
Yeah, just like venture capitalist and angel investor invest their like tens and like $100,000 into tech startups because they believe in their potentials and they want to support. So why not for artists? Why can't they invest into artists with the talents and the vision and support them?
Yes. Amen. We're making the move there. That's where everything's going, Athena. We're making the move in that direction. We're one person at a time, one supporting artists, moving people in that direction. Athena, let's ask you a couple quick questions that we like asking our guests on the way out of the show. Okay. Okay. So, where do you think we come from before birth? Do we come from somewhere into these bodies?
Personally, I cannot explain it. There's no, data, but it's just purely based on my intuition, just gut feeling. We all come from somewhere, but not necessarily somewhere like completely like new, out of like nothing, or it could be. I can say like I'm a firm believer of reincarnation, but maybe there's like a huge kind of like a circle. I don't know. Unless that we like completely release and then relieve all this our karma.
Yeah.
Then there's like nothing left. Doesn't need to be like brought back until it gets to a point. Maybe it. Just speaking of it, kind of sounds like a reincarnation, even though I don't necessarily like believe it and I don't know it well. Because often I get this kind of sensation that like things that I see and then what I'm experiencing, it feels kind of familiarity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like a memory from the far past. I don't even know when it was and what it was for.
Yeah. Yeah. The ultimate remembering. Why are we here? What are we doing? What is our role? What's our puzzle piece in the big game of civilization? The big remembering. Athena, do you think we are in a simulation?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Tell me more. Why?
It's like a wonderful choice for your series. Tell me why? That's so difficult. I'm usually like I just know, but when I have to like explain and analyze it, then I don't really have like a firm like explanation to it. It's like often for me like I just know.
And then what do you think's the most beautiful thing in the world?
The most beautiful thing in the world. Compassion. That is unconditional, based on unconditional love. See, authentic, pure, like caring for another living being.
Yeah. That's so beautifully said, Athena. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us on the show. We really appreciated having you as a guest.
Thank you for having me today, Alan,
Thank you.
Ron.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Athena. You're a huge inspiration to us. We hope that everyone that watched, we would love for you to also check out the links in the bio below to athenakimart.com. Also the Instagram and Facebook pages, Athena Kim Art. Check those out, everyone. Go and support Athena. Share more conversations with our friends, our families, our coworkers, people online on social media about art and emotional expression in general. Get creating as an artist. Get making. Go do that, everyone. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. Leave us your thoughts in the comments below. Also support the entrepreneurs, the organizations, the artists around the world that you believe in. Simulation. Our links are below. Support us on PayPal, on Patreon, also on cryptocurrencies. If you want to do cool things like design merch, like what's the most beautiful thing in the world, you can do that. The link's below. You can get paid, and you can also spread thought-provoking questions around the world. Shout out to Ron Vargas for producing and directing. Thank you very much, Ron. And go and build the future, everyone. Manifest your dreams into the world. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you soon. Peace.